to today's show and tell. Today is really an exciting day in the life of Exxaro's life. And this is a day where we get the opportunity to spend time with some of our ExCo members, with some of our board members, coming here to be showcased some of the most exciting things, new innovation things that we as an organization are busy doing.
Exxaro has boldly went up to the market and said, we're gonna disrupt mining, we're gonna change the way that we do things, and we're sticking our head. And we're really going to become an innovation magnet for mining in the entire world. We put in governance structures, we established systems that enable us to have a rigorous process in terms of transforming our operations and functions digitally.
Innovation, as it's applicable to Exxaro, is mainly about improving the business that we have and making it more efficient, more effective, more cost-effective, and actually radically improving the way we do things.
We also branded ourselves Digital at Exxaro because that resonated with a lot of people and connected to all our people in the operations and functions.
And it becomes a language, that we are, if we're doing something, we're doing digital at Exxaro, and we're living digital at Exxaro. It's not just about playing with new stuff and putting in cool things. It's about trying to solve a problem, trying to improve our business. That's the fundamental anchor for innovation.
Today we are witnessing people within this organization who are doing great things.
Leopan, in the last 10 years, it's been sitting at around 9% profit margin. In this case, we need to get to more than 20% profit margin. So with this team, we're gonna give Exxaro almost around 400 million rands, moving from 90 to 400 million. Overburden, it accounts to more than 35% of our operational costs. So in this case, if you optimize the overburden removal, in terms of focusing on rates, distances, and efficiencies, then you should be able to manage your operational costs. Our dashboard, it was more on making sure that each and every step of the value chain, it's optimized, and if there's any issues, it can be improved as soon as possible.
If you look on the product tons here, there was our target, we've long surpassed it.
We've surpassed the target
Yes.
for the month.
Yes.
So the whole idea around putting AVA was to manage distances as well as operational efficiencies, as we have indicated.
So we've got the mounted radar that is monitoring the slope stability at Leopan. So the great part about it, or the exciting feature that we've actually integrated towards it, is the ability to view your data that comes from the slope stability with a live camera that actually is geo-referenced to the actual position.
But we need to build a mine of the future that delivers value today.
Belfast is about disrupting technology, disrupt the way Exxaro does things. I think we've been blessed to have this team of pioneers who come with innovative ideas, agile, and ours today is just to show the world that we can do it differently.
So we have seen the value of digitization at Exxaro. Currently we have seen 27% benefit, and we are continuously trying to improve and get more. We are young, and this stuff, this stuff is exciting, to be honest. Digitization is exciting.
Because we're taking control and the management of the value chain into one area. So you will not have a control room at Belfast. You only have an integrated operations hub, which means that faster decision making can take place in order to release value as quick as possible in the operation.
Breaking new ground in mining innovation. Our 3.3 billion rand Belfast mine is on track to power up in 2020 as the first of its kind truly digital mine in South Africa.
We will ensure that come day one, when that first shovel enters the ground, we should be in a position to get performance visualization throughout our value chain. We believe that it's important to bring our contractors on board in this digitization journey for this journey to be a success. Digitization is key. Digitization is imperative into making Belfast a success.
I think with what we have today is we have the ability to enable pit to port from the BU side, but also from the customer side. Some digital solutions is technically feasible, but economically and business-wise actually do not make sense. And you have to have the courage to stop some of them.
So with the RBCT integration, we can see exactly stockpile levels, qualities, whether stockpile is hot or not, vessel loading, dispatches, etc. You'll see how it streamlines the end-to-end process of customers onboarding, ordering, management, complaints, etc. So just as a small example, for example, at Grote Geluk from September to October, we've been able to reduce underloaded tonnages on road transport by 65%. So in that specific instance, reducing the number of trips required by 27. So good for carbon footprint, road safety, all of those aspects as well.
We're the first mining company to officially employ digital workforce.
The Intelligent Automation Project aims to solve manual, repetitive, rule-based problems in the finance, supply chain, and HR functions within the organization.
The digital workers, you can see they're already up to around 7,000 tasks that they've done since they went into production. Basically what it does is it takes out the robot out of the human being to put the human being back into HR.
One of the key challenges in our mining industry is the network underground.
We have also started with a Wi-Fi system underground that will allow direct contact with the miner. You will be able to see the miner cutting underground.
This is done through, first of all, managing the system. The system is what we call our nerve center, or the IOC, where you'll be able to run value chain integration, look at debottlenecking, improving planning and decision making, and predictive analytics.
You need to show value. You need to prove that value to our partnership. And I think that makes it very exciting to us because we've been able to do that.
So the focus is how do we quickly move up the ramp-up curve and achieve the planned productivities. The road condition monitoring that we spoke to during our presentation helps us improve the truck speeds, and then by improving truck speed, you improve the productivity as a result. So that's where our focus is.
Towards the north of the Old Springbok Laagte, and we've identified that there are two main constraints for us achieving the full plant capacity in the next 2 years. The first one being the removal of overburden on the waste truck and shoveling. We have to change the way we manage the tip, which means we need to maximize the amount of time that we're providing coal through. We want to ramp the mine up to full capacity not only in 2020. The target is to try and achieve some of those numbers already in 2019.
Once you start to innovate, people think, are you going to now replace us with this technology, and will we still have our jobs?
We had to find a solution that will reduce the amount of human input and make the process automated so that we don't have to rely on using lots of spreadsheets and also having lots of people manipulating data.
Issues of climate change have got a huge bearing in terms of our business. You know, on a daily basis we get questions from investors. What is it that we're doing about reducing the impact of our emissions? And that information will then be manipulated in terms of emission factors, calculating your scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3 emissions. And then the output of that will get an ESCO report, the SRC report, the external auditing report, the report for the integrated report, and the compliance reporting. You know, BUs are expected to submit their pollution prevention plans, you know, on an annual basis. So it was extremely manual to do this on a monthly basis.
The total process can be automated without any human interface.
Look, I think what we've realized with the digital twin, it adds a lot of efficiency to our operation. Projects that we would have walked away from, when we apply that technology, they become feasible. BIM is basically the enabling philosophy that sits behind a digital twin. And then you can actually watch and simulate how the construction would go, and then you pick up issues with the construction, and it allows you to better plan the work
So you can log your sort of safety incidents. So we are currently looking at a robot that changes conveyor idlers so that your digital twin takes over and replaces idlers for you while the plant is running. So once you address all those aspects, you get to this thing that's very elusive that we call a digital twin.
Insofar as a lot of development has been taking place at Groote Geluk over the last number of years continuously. As we move along, I think we all know that we've implemented the OPS-I. Very excited about that. We're seeing the results at this stage. We've implemented the root slip on the drill and blast.
We started from 17 million tons and we are this year going to do product over 32 million tons. This is the first year that we're going to meet our budgets in terms of it to get to 100%.
I think one of the biggest lessons learned is if you don't take culture with it, if you don't do change management properly, none of the other stuff will work.
So what this solution does is that it enables or empowers the operator himself to be able to see as he's mining, whether he's mining to the prescribed mining elevation or not. And then in that way we can improve the quality of the material that we send to the plant.
The biggest challenge on an underground mine is start of shift. The people go underground and you will only know what's going on after they come out, and then unfortunately you have to rely on what they tell you.
At Matla, we're looking at the dashboards. We're able to see what kind of production is coming out from underground, what the sections are producing on a real-time basis.
So that is the fundamental problem of an underground mine, and why digitization is so important for an underground mine is the reliability and access of information. There's section 22, so there you can see they've cut 13 meters. They had their first load at 12 minutes past 10. Okay. They've done 45 minutes and you can see the loads per hour.
Our main focus is basically to unlock the functional innovation within geoscience, but to the benefits of the operations.
And she's developed and under construction or in development by Soul Machines in New Zealand.
Guys, we at Geoscience as a community focus on a very simplistic type of approach for innovation. We've got 3 groupings. That is data capture and management, data integration, and then information accessibility and visualization. And we go through a very simple process of review. We investigate it, we develop it, and we implement.
We've seen what has been presented today as far as your different visualizations sitting at the different operations. And it felt like a joke when we said, actually, we're missing what we call the middle eye. That can give us a 360 view of what our operations are about. This team has taken just 2 years to be where it is.
Just imagine what's going to happen in the next 2 years, because the curve is about to become exponential. And it's all because of you. Thank you. Thank you for the hard work. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you for giving it all. I know you guys are going to put us into a new place because I believe in you.
I think it's crucial for us to come to the show and tell and show the people what we've done.
It's mainly about learning from other BUs.
It assists us to see what other guys are doing, see how they've been doing it.
So that we can identify any blind spot and copy from other mines.
And instead of reinventing the wheel, just take the successes, the learnings that they have, and then apply it.
So that is also in our strategy. In 2023, we want to have improved our performance by 25%. So having the show and tell in terms of how we're progressing on that strategic journey was very important to everyone, to the board, to Exco, to all the BU managers, to all the teams, the supporting functions, everyone that's involved in the journey. I think this really tick all the boxes to really align people to one direction and the vision that we're all after.
A very exciting day in my life as the head of CO, because it was a day of sharing and a day of excitement where we can see what is possible as far as digital and the role of digital in operations. But most importantly for me is the bigger problem we have in mining industry in the world, where mining has become more expensive. the more the reserves are getting far from where we start them and the quality of the reserves becoming much poorer. We've got to do something else beyond just sweating the assets, which digitalization is one of those that can give us so much exponential growth, and we can then at the end of the day achieve the much needed productivity, unit cost improvement, and really high profit margins. And that will allow us to be able to compete with the best in the world in some of these markets where we're trying to push to in the future.